So this is something interesting coming in here from The Verge, is that Samsung's new foldable hinge might look nicer, but it won't have a longer lifespan. So the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is supposed to have even smaller of a hinge than the Z Fold 4. It's supposed to be almost absolutely nothing. Now, based on what we understand, this is going to help the device when it comes to the crease in the middle. It's going to be less of a crease, not completely get rid of the crease, but be a tad bit less than we see with the Z Fold 4 and the Z Fold 3. Now, we're still probably a good amount of time away from ever seeing like what Oppo has or Vivo or some of these other phone companies, especially now with Google Pixel Fold coming out, where there's going to be no crease at all. Samsung is not there yet, but they're going to slowly get there over time. Now, with that speculation of the fact that the hinge is going to get smaller, there was a lot of people who expected that the next news to be that the hinge would last longer, because the Vivo and Oppo foldable phones both have a lifespan of 400,000 folds, meaning you can unfold the phone 400,000 times before the hinge breaks. Well, it looks like Samsung, although they are upgrading the phone hinge, it's not going to be upgrading the lifespan of the phone hinge / durability of phone hinge, and it will still be staying at 200,000 folds. Now, of course, let's be honest, at the end of the day, while yes, that's not ideal, not what you want to hear when it comes to, foldable phones, and obviously durability always being the top thing people talk about. It's not really too big of a deal, in all honesty, because at the end of the day, you sacrifice the durability there when it comes to, 200,000 versus 400,000. But a lot of times, these phone companies, whether they're on Samsung, they make cheaper products overall wise, right? So it's like you're paying for the idea that, okay, well, this might have half the folds, but we know from Samsung they're telling the truth, while other companies might not be telling the truth. Oppo seems like they're a very trustworthy company, though, so far, with their 2-year track record for foldable phones. So again, it's one of those things where it's like, I trust Oppo, but who knows? I mean, 400,000 folds is a lot to fold. Usually how they do this test, by the way, is they have a machine that takes the phone, you put it in the machine, and the phone just goes like this. A little button thing. It just goes back and forth, open, close, open, close, open, close. So, it is what it is. Would you ever realistically in a lifetime hit 400,000 folds? Probably not. If we're being honest, this is one of those things where it's like, we like to think of it. But this is another thing you got to consider is, if you're buying a used version, right? So, because not everyone buys a brand new version of whatever cell phone they buy. A lot of people buy used versions of those cell phones because it's cheaper, it's easier to get. So, let's say, for example, I right now say I want a Galaxy Z Fold 3, and I go buy one. How long is that going to last? Because 400,000 folds is literally double the lifespan of that said phone, right? So, again, it's things to take in consideration. It's not always the most, craziest things where you're looking at it, you're like, oh, I can't buy this phone because 200,000 versus 400,000. I don't really think that's a huge deal. And if you're the original owner of this device, this is never going to affect you. But if you are not the original owner, that's where things will start to take in consideration. Whenever you have a camera like right here, think about cameras that we always look at when it comes to buying one, it has to be the snap count. Right? How many snaps has that camera been used for? Because every camera has a certain snap count where once it hits that snap count, if you go over that snap count, it's going to break, right? Eventually a camera will break. Well, phones are the same thing, but when it comes to folds. So eventually a foldable phone will break, eventually a camera will break. So if you have you're buying a brand new camera and it's 1,000 snaps, well, a normal camera probably hit in the ballpark range of 6,800 to 7,000. So you should be fine. But if you buy a camera that's 5,000 snaps, you never know when it's going to break. So, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though. It's not a huge deal, like I said before. It's just one of those things where it's like, you see other companies have a little bit better, and you would want to see what an upgraded version for this to be even upgraded more. But I don't really think, in my opinion, this is not a deal breaker for me. This is not me saying, well, I'm not going to buy the Z Fold 5 because they did not upgrade the hinge snap count. I think in the end of the day, they're really, Samsung-wise, is never going to upgrade this. I think it's going to be the same old because they are using the same technology for every single hinge they create. But definitely tell me down below your thoughts, opinions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.